Welcome to the Nagual Zone. I'm Anaam. I want to talk about honesty and deception and the exact energetic mechanics of those two polarities. I avoid truth and lies because those words now trigger a deep doublethink in almost everyone. If you don't know what doublethink is, you can go to Google and research George Orwell 1984, the concept of doublethink. So now the population has been so well mind controlled and so well skewed and confused about very basic concepts that truth and lies trigger debates amongst the intellectuals. What really is true? Do you know? Ha ha. Ooh. Just exercise in displaying their stupidities. So I stick with honesty and deception. Intellectuals and people who live in their head, they find it very hard to argue, make an argument, a debate about these two words. Because honesty is honesty and deception is deception, right? So let's stick with that. There are exact energetic mechanics of these two polarities. For me personally, I can't say about Toltec warriors in general. For me personally, I found that sticking with honesty yields much better results and it is efficient, much more energy efficient. See, I'm not a nice person. Neither are you, right? We're not nice people. I personally don't give a damn about morals, about this, about that, and no, it's not for me. This world isn't built on morals, right? So I don't give a damn about that. However, for me as a Toltec warrior, energy and the efficiency of energetic lines is of the utmost importance. That is why I favor honesty. Not because, oh, I'm a good person, or I want to make a good impression, or God will like me more if I'm honest. I don't give a damn about any of those. And I urge you to think about this inside you as well and come up with your own conclusions. Don't just swallow stuff that the priest gives you and the politician gives you and the influencers give you, or the books you read, or the Bible, or the this, or the that, or the rest of it. Empty your mind out of all of that garbage. Just think for yourself. This is, for me, the way I have found works for me very, very well. You see, what happens is there's two kinds of energy outputs between honesty and deception. Honesty takes a burst of energy initially. You can call it spiritual energy inside you. Honesty initially takes a burst of energy to overcome self-importance inside. So you are being honest with yourself, first and foremost with yourself, and then with others, right? It takes a burst of energy in order to overcome the natural resistance of self-importance, wanting to appear better than I really am to everyone and even to myself. Most people repeat that story to themselves so long and so often in their life that they have no clue who they really are. They just build upon this fantasy in their head. Everyone's a superhero in their own head, right? Either a negative one or a positive one. I'm not good enough, or, oh, it's the same story. Toltec warriors just step away from that endless game. It's juvenile. And you want to focus on energy efficiency. Honesty will take a burst of energy initially, and then it is low maintenance after that. Not much energy required. You can keep riding that wave of honesty. You don't have to maintain anything. It just maintains itself. Deception, on the other hand, yeah, you know where I'm going with this. Deception, on the other hand, does not require a burst of energy initially to overcome self-importance because it works with self-importance. It encounters no resistance inside being deceptive, even if it's just a little bit. And that just a little bit is far more dangerous than some grand deception. White lies, they're called. So it doesn't take any energy initially to be deceptive. The only problem is, over time, that energy starts to be costly. It has, you can say it has compound interest built into it. So it's like taking out a credit card. If you're going to spend on that credit card, you're going to have to pay the man back. Not just the amount you spent, but on top as well. And the more you spend, the bigger the amount you have to pay back, right? It's exactly the same energetically with deception. You start slowly, but it won't maintain itself. It starts breaking down. So you have to now not only maintain the initial deception, now you have to spin another deception on top of it to shore it up, to bolster it up. Now you got two deceptions you have to maintain. Over time, they too start degrading. So you have to pull in a couple more, or maybe one more, two more, three more deceptions to maintain this growing mass of deceptions. You see how the compound interest happens? Before long, you're having to maintain a massive load of deceptions. And I can tell you that it takes a lot of energy, a lot of energy. What trips people up is we as human beings, as luminous beings, we are imbued with massive amounts of energy. We come in with a lot of energy. Look at children, loads of energy. And then we are indoctrinated, mind controlled into a world of deception. We take that on board as we start growing up. And that deception starts to cost us. By the time the average person is 20 years old or something, legal adult, that person is a mountain of deceptions. Self-deceptions, deceiving oneself first and foremost. There is a whole sub-race which has always existed, but now this sub-race is out in the open. I call them Decepticons. There's another famous channel called Next Wex Backup. You can look it up. Or another channel that is now defunct, but a fantastic channel called Phony Persephone. That's it. Phony Persephone. You can check out these two channels on Decepticons, and as NextWex Backup calls it, T-Virus. It takes a massive amount of personal energy to keep up these deceptions. Instead, just be honest. Costs a lot initially, especially if you're not used to it, costs a lot. As you get used to it, you won't feel the cost anymore. It'll just become the way you are, just yourself. Just yourself. No apologies, no, oh, I don't know, oh, I feel shame. None of this nonsense garbage. People, the drama that people create about themselves. You don't have to overcompensate, you don't have to undercompensate. Just be yourself, be honest. So as you learn to be honest with yourself, a peculiar kind of personal power starts growing within you, because you're not wasting massive amounts of energy upholding so like a mountain of deceptions. This is the exact mechanics of honesty and deceptions. This is how the energetic map looks like. Now it's up to you. I like personally my life simple, clear, efficient. And so I usually tend to favor 99% of the time, I favor honesty and move from there. No need to prove anything to anyone, to pretend that I'm better than I really am. Inadvertently, it may happen, but then if I get feedback, I correct immediately. If I don't get feedback, then eventually it corrects itself. It really does. Eventually you get some feedback. If you got your eyes and ears open, you're present in each moment, and you're interested in yourself, in growing yourself, it'll self-correct. So it's up to you what map of energetic mechanics you want in your life. Leave in the comments below if you have had experience with this, if you have felt this in yourself, that, oh, it takes a lot of energy to just be honest initially, and then, but it doesn't take a lot of energy to be dishonest, to be deceiving, to deceive myself and others. But over time, it's exhausting. On that note, I will see you in the next video. Thank you for joining me. Walk in freedom. Farewell.